Good morning, my Teaser King family. How is everybody today? I am fine. Um, Still in the process of the move. It's May 1st. I got my lease yesterday, and all these ridiculous questions they give you. It takes you about 20 minutes. And you're not going to read every word. And just a second. So you're not reading every word of it, but it's like your initial or you sign it. A lot of things I don't even worry about. It's an older place, so it was talking about lead, which I don't know, lead paint, I guess. Um, Animals don't have smoking. I don't smoke. Drugs, I don't do drugs. So it was a lot of I don't, whatever. And, it's hard that they're going to actually check anything because they're not going to know. You're going to sit there and let's say you smoke. How are they going to know? It's like speeding. They're not going to know that you smoked. I guess it's probably the neighbors who would tell because really they're not running to the office to check you. It's like speeding. Yeah, there's a law you can't speed. But nobody, unless the cops are there when you do it, they're not really going to be able to do anything. So, anyway, it takes you a while, but really there's no, there's nothing there. Their office isn't even there, so there's nobody really there. So if you're doing something like they say, well, you can't sell drugs like as a business. Well, how would they know? I mean, if people come to your apartment, could be your friends, you could do something. Come on, man. I'm trying to put ice on my foot. Only it slides off. Aha. I will. Jesus. So, it says, well, you can't do this and that. Nobody knows. I mean, you could do certain things at the house. Your friends come in, you do it, they leave. Who's going to know? Nobody. So I think it's a lot like here's a speed limit, and you put it's like if you go more than 65, you're speeding, but who cares? There shouldn't be a limit because it's set to give tickets. It's not set for safety. But if the cop doesn't catch you over 65, you don't get a ticket, even though you're not supposed to. So I think a lot of things, especially with apartments or speeding, it's only if somebody catches you does that give you a problem. Excuse me. Again, I only sneeze when I'm here. Could be the dust. I got to dust this table. So, anyways, going through that, got that done. So I'm all set. I just got to get a cashier's check, which I'll do on the 30th. And I just got to get internet. I was going to do it yesterday and then got busy with Alyssa and her things. And then I got home and I was tired and went to the pool. And I just said, I got plenty of time. It's April 14th. I have till May 1st, and doing internet takes 5 minutes. I have most of my stuff boxed except for the stuff I can't. And I'll start taking a little bit more into the car. And really, what I'm trying to figure out is what I'm going to give the movers. So, like the table, the couch, the bed. Then I have a couple of boxes with sets of cards that are a little heavy. I'll give them that, and I'll give them my dishes, and I think that'll be it. Like you take these, and then you want to use them for like. I'm paying for well, I don't know if I'm paying for an hour and a half. They assume an hour and a half, but they could get done. They said it's at least an hour. So I got to make sure I give them enough boxes if I'm paying for it. So I don't have to carry them. So I'm definitely giving them the hard boxes, but there's not, the bathroom stuff, the kitchen stuff, and then all the cards. Gold and silver stays with me. So that's not getting out of my hands. Anyway, I got a lot of little boxes. Like I'm gonna put my, I got this perfect. I had baseball cards in there, so I'll put this. I'll put my notebooks and baseball and football stuff in. That it's perfect because it'll contain it and I won't lose it and everything else. Anyway, let's take a look at our gold and silver. And we're in great shape. We've got gold back over 48 and silver was 79.10 or something. And I get confused. It was 79.10. I go, oh shit, it came down. And then I realized, no, it was 78. And now it's 79. So here we go. The paper's moving 79 in the gold at over 48. It got to 48.10 and then the 10 o'clock drop. And now here it starts coming up again. I knew there was going to be a 10 o'clock drop because you can see gold at 9:30. It was 47.60 and then it went all the way to 48.20. And if it does that just before 10, they're raising it so they can short it because it's all a fucking Ponzi scheme. So this is bullshit, but it's paper. And we know physical is 10 times higher. So our real silver price is probably 800 and our real gold price is probably about 40,000. And that's what we're looking at. Let's see. So there was an email, little confusion, so I wanted to clean that up. One of our students is emailing me, and I don't care. And then I said to him, I made a comment I wish I could unsubscribe from the email. And he thought it was him. And I said, no, it's not you. Why would I unsubscribe from you? It's this email here. I don't know who these idiots are. All of a sudden, this premium retiring, all this crap. I don't want any of it. I don't like getting these bullshit emails, but when I go in, I can't, there's no unsubscribe. Now, I never asked for it, and I don't know what to do with it. So I think I'm going to move it into spam, and hopefully it stays in spam. I'll move it into unwanted. But that's what I was talking about, not our friend who emails me is perfectly fine. I don't mind the emails, but I don't really No, I would never. If Luke or somebody emailed me, I wouldn't. Why would I unsubscribe from him? He's not. It's not a subscription type of thing. It's just a regular email. All right, let's take a look at our baseball from yesterday. We had like so many games, and we start off. Seattle 6, Houston 2. We got Seattle over 7.5, a W. Arizona over 8.5. Baltimore wins 9-7. We're cooking. Pittsburgh with Scanes, and they win 16-5. Pitt wins 2 units. I always bet Scanes. Philly minus 170. Philly wins 13-7. A football score. 4-0. The Yankees we took. They win 11-10. They came back, but we had them minus 178. For a minus 178 to play an 11-10 game with California is crazy. Atlanta minus 141. So we bet Atlanta and they lose. Florida beat them 10-4. Who was pitching? I took Boston. And they lost 13-6. I didn't. Oh, Crochet pitch. He's pitching like shit. I'll get off of him. Cleveland minus 111, and they win 9-3. That's a W. Oakland over 8.5, and they go 9, and that was 2 units. That's a W. And LA minus 153. I go 4 units, and I win it. They win 4-0. So in plays, I win 2 units, I win 4 units, I win 6 units, I win 8 units, I win 12 units yesterday. Very nice. 5-0 in my picks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 2. 8-2 I go overall. Now notice the big lock was the Dodgers minus only 153 to the Mets because of the travel. The Mets played Sunday at home, have to go to LA and play. And believe me, if you've ever done a travel coast to coast, you are not ready to play baseball game the next day. I'm sure they left Sunday night, got in Monday, and they lose. No, they gained 4 hours, so they're even more fucked up. Anyway, so there you go. Oakland's all over the place. They blow out the Yankees. And now they're playing Texas and they lose 8-1. Now they're not scoring. Texas is starting to score. That's why it's all about the pitchers. The Twins beat the Red Sox. Croquet allows 11 runs in 2 innings. Okay, what? Now he's their ace. What's wrong with him? And I'll have to look at Atlanta. What the hell happened there? Giving up 10 to Miami. A lot of times you get the relievers coming in. Scanes 16-5. Beautiful. See, that's why you bet the aces. You always can win with Scanes. He's going to get you the W. All right. So let's go to basketball. We got playoffs, and then we'll get into today's baseball game. The East play-in tournament and the West play-in tournament. How stupid is this? Is this like so stupid? Why are there a play-in games? So we've got Miami going to Charlotte. It doesn't give me the record. Close enough. We've got Charlotte minus 5.5, 230. This isn't over. I'm going to play. I'm playing Charlotte over 230. 2 units. Miami's a high-scoring team, as is Charlotte. We will see. But neither team's a really strong defensive team. Charlotte's been playing well. I think Charlotte will win this series, but I don't know enough about Miami. And Portland goes to Phoenix, and Phoenix 3.5, 217.5. This is definitely an over. Portland over 217. That's really low. 2 units. Now, where are the other two games? Isn't there four? Isn't there 7, 8, 9, and 10? So why the fuck are they're going to waste a whole week on these play-in games? The play-in games are not important. Good news, Howard. Your account is active. What account? See how much is making. What's deluxe something.com. Stop to opt out. I'm just going to block this number. What account? What are you talking about? My account is active. See, these are the scams, and then they get you to look and press on the link to see what account you have, and then you're fucked. So you don't even go on it. I know I haven't activated any account. I don't know what they're talking about, so I stay away. Anyway. So that's basketball. Let's see tomorrow. Yeah, Orlando and Philly and Golden State and San Diego. I assume Steph Curry's playing. This will be interesting. Most of these will probably go over because these are teams probably without really good defenses. People say, well, the defense really edges up in the playoffs. And I'm like, yeah, well, if you have an Isaiah or Magic's defense didn't edge up, but his offense did. Jordan would score 60 points on Boston. It was always Chicago and Boston. Jordan against Bird. Boston would win every series. That's why I hesitate that Jordan's the best. Boston would win every series. Jordan would get 50 points a game, and they'd lose by 20. So it shows you let the one player do his scoring, but nobody else scores. So he gets 50, but you need 120. Where's the other 70 points coming from? Oh, yeah, we don't have anybody else. So pretty boring. Teams that are not qualifying, why are we watching them? What is the point of this? Orlando plays Philly, so the winner will be the 8 seed. The other one, the winner will be the 7 seed, or it's like have the top 8 in the playoffs. Do not go to 10 and have this. It dilutes it. It makes it worthless. This is ridiculous. Okay, let's go watch playoff basketball. Well, we're not. We're not watching playoff basketball. We're watching 8 teams try to get into the playoffs, but this isn't the playoffs. It's just like when I talk about college basketball and who won. Michigan won the tournament. They're not the best team. They won the tournament. Winning the tournament does not qualify you as the best team. It qualifies you that you won a tournament. And nobody cares about that. This is golf. It doesn't mean anything. Winning the Masters is one thing. Winning a basketball tournament doesn't mean anything. I noticed my beard grows in quicker. I shaved a few days ago, and when I was a kid, I could never get it. It's like all of a sudden, with all my castor oil and everything, although I don't put it on my face, but my Celtic salt, my cayenne pepper, I noticed my beard comes in not only full, but it comes in quickly, which is unusual. Anyway, I thought I'd throw that in. So just because you win a tournament in college basketball, why isn't there a playoff? Why isn't there a series? Michigan should have played Connecticut 3 out of 5. Arizona 3 out of 5. Duke should have played. Duke and Connecticut should have played 3 out of 5. Maybe you have 16 teams. That would be like the pros. And your top 4 seeds should play each other in 3 out of 5, not the way they have it now. Now it's so stupid. It really doesn't mean anything. Winning a tournament doesn't mean anything. You have to win a playoff series to really be the best team. That's why when they keep talking about this Scott Scheffler guy is the world's number one. Yeah, but Rory won, so Rory beat number one, so Rory's number one. How do you rank a guy who lost as number one? Why is there even a number one in I don't know why there is one in college football, college basketball, or tennis and golf. Why are you ranking it? These rankings are absolutely meaningless. The fact Scott Scheffler won a tournament, whip-de-doo. Nobody's watching him anyway. He's terrible. I don't like him. I think he doesn't bring anything to the table. It's not exciting. Jack Nicklaus, you could watch him, and Arnold Palmer, and Ben Hogan, Tom Watson. Those guys had emotion, but they were excellent and exciting to watch. Even Nicklaus, pretty stoic, but you liked watching him. He was a nice guy, but you liked watching him. I hated Tiger with the fist pump. No, Tiger, this isn't baseball. This is golf. You don't fist pump in golf. And then you've got here this Scott Scheffler, boring as shit. All these guys are terrible. No personality. Not good golfers, really. I don't see anything. It's just like the U.S. dollar. It's only good because all the other dollars are bad. The U.S. dollar strengthened today. No, it didn't. It's still worse shit. But against the British pound and the euro, yeah, it's maybe stronger, I guess. I don't know. They printed theirs to trillions of dollars also. So it's all bullshit. Mr. Behold, give on to teaser. Well, welcome. I hope you're doing well. This April here, it's Detroit, and we got like 80 degrees out yesterday. It's another warm one. I went to the grocery store this morning, got my avocados for 99 cents. I got avocados. I didn't need much. I kind of nickel dime. So I go and I got an onion and I get celery. So like today I got broccoli and cauliflower, and watching the prices. I don't know why berries are so expensive, but yet the blackberries were on sale 2 for $1. So I got like 10 of those. But like apples, they've come down. But at the end of the day, and this is my title, part of my title, is the markets. We set the prices. And what I meant by that is if you got something very expensive, what was expensive? Like the dark chocolate are $6. Fuck off. I'm not buying it. They can sit on the shelf all day for what I care. You want me to buy it, you've got to mark it in the $4 range. And that's what it is at Walmart, $4.44. And see, I said to myself at the store, I says, you can market whatever you want. It doesn't mean we're going to buy it. And the goal is for the grocery stores for us to buy it. And if we don't buy it, you can put any price you want on it. The only thing we really, really need is gas for our cars, where even then we could ride a bike and we could go around it. But I think we're too spoiled now to go back to bikes. Maybe the electric bike or that little scooter that you see go 20 miles an hour down the road or something. Maybe you can have that. But I already have it. That's why I have the car. I'm not selling it. I'm not buying a new one. I got it's 2018. I think it's 2018, and I got 90,000 miles on it, and I'm not getting rid of it anytime soon. So anyway, I think I'm getting close to needing brakes and maybe a left tire, but we'll see. But the price is set by us. That's why I get bitchy about gold and silver. We're not setting the price. You're price fixing, which is totally illegal to price fix. And especially for us in the Constitution, you can't do that. Well, you shouldn't have you shouldn't have central banks and inflation and dollars not backed by gold either. All illegal. They do it, but they're all illegal. But this whole COMEX is not legal. The whole price fixing is totally not legal, and they do it. And that's why I give you, I give you the gold price. But notice how I say paper gold 4,800, silver 70. So what I'm saying is, it's not the physical, it's the paper. But if that's the way the game is, it's a beautiful buying opportunity. But again, it's not at market. People will pay much more for gold and silver than the 4,800 and the 79. They'll pay 10,000 for it, and they'll pay 500 for silver, because you won't have an option, because you're going to have to get out of the dollar. So if you must sell this, you either hold this and watch it go to zero, or you sell this, in which case, what am I going to buy? And I'm going to buy gold and silver, and that's it. I'm not going to buy Bitcoin or stocks. They want you to buy Bitcoin and stocks because they get money and commission off of it. They don't want you in gold because it's they're out of control. I'm not controlled by anybody because I have this, and nobody controls me. However, if I have this, they're controlling me because they're stealing from me. Do you realize that your dollar, or for you Europeans that we have, the Canadians, well, the Canadian dollar, they are stealing from you? How fucked up is that your central banks are stealing from you? Here's a dollar, but it's only worth a penny. Excuse me? Yeah, we printed it to death, and it's not worth anything. You're fucking stealing from me? And that's really what it is. That's why you have this, because you can't steal from me. This is an ounce of silver. It's always an ounce of silver. It's 999. Where is it? It's 1 ounce, 999 fine silver. And it always is 999. The price is determined by this paper, is not even real. If we were in the marketplace, we would get a real price, which we're not, unfortunately. But at the grocery store, in the marketplace, when they start raising prices, it's funny how they raise prices on Coca-Cola, but gold and silver prices don't get raised. I mean, what a joke that is. And again, this is embarrassing, 4,800 when it should be 48,000 by now. Bitcoin goes to 100,000 and gold doesn't. Are we kidding? And why would that be? So we know Bitcoin's not real, but gold is, and gold can't be thing, but it can't be printed, but we don't have a real price in place, which is just absurd. So anyway, they are stealing, the government, the morons who are running the circus here. And this is embarrassing. I told Daria I'm embarrassed to be an American. We should probably go live in Sicily or Italy or somewhere else besides live here. Oh my God, what an embarrassment. What a bunch of idiots, right? So they're stealing your money right in front of your face. And then they'll give you Social Security. Here's your Social Security. Oh, but if you make money, but you got to pay tax on it. What do you mean? I already paid tax on it. You've stole it from me, and now you're stealing the value of it. I get like 2,500 a month. I should be getting 25,000 a month. And what's the 2,500 worth? Not a lot. Fortunately, rent hasn't caught on yet, and hasn't really gone. Most people haven't discovered that they're stealing from us, and this value has gone to this, and most people haven't caught on yet, or they can't, right? the grocery store, Oreo cookies, the boxes. I saw today at $6, and I just laughed. And I'm like, what the fuck is Nabisco doing? And they can price it what they want, but nobody's buying it. You always see it on sale 2 for $5, which means it's $2.50 a thing, not the $6 they want to get for. Maybe it's 2 for $5 or something. But this is the problem. We set the price. If we don't want it, we don't buy it. If we don't buy it, the grocery store doesn't sell it. And the grocery store's got big problems. And so when I go to either of my grocery stores, I can see they're in big trouble because their prices are too high, and then they're putting my olive oil is buy one get one free. So it was $15 a bottle instead of the $19 a bottle that it normally is. Really good stuff, but I go through it really quick because I drink it in the morning. I put it on for my eggs and my hamburgers and whatever. Anyway, if the market's here and your price is here, there's nobody to buy it from. So you've got to find out what this, and as the money's worth less and less, they steal it from us, and it's worth less and less. We can only afford so much. So if everybody raises their prices, we can't afford it. We don't have enough. So everybody's price has to come down to get us to sell, because that's what business is. You're making products to sell them, or you're a farmer and you're making tomatoes and cucumbers and oranges and onions, and you got to sell them. And if their price is too high, you don't sell them, you don't make money. So it's not that easy that, there's inflation. Yes, they're stealing our money, but it doesn't mean they can make the price whatever they want, except gasoline is the only thing they can do that we can't substitute. We got to pay whatever. That's it. Everything else is pretty much, if you don't want Oreos, you can buy the Meyer brand or the Kroger brand or whatever. That's much cheaper. Doesn't taste as good, but it's fine. It does the job. I jump on avocados, 99 cents this week. I bought 11. I will go buy another 11 probably tomorrow or the next day. And these are the big ones. These are the large ones. Healthiest thing you could buy, but they're normally $1.99. And this is what you do when it goes to 99. You go, I will buy it for that price. Probably when I was a kid, they were probably 10 cents a piece. That's what I would use the time machine for. I'd go buy gold in 1972 at 35 an ounce. And then I'd buy like my fruit and veggies. I'd go to the store and I'd load up my DeLorean with all the, apples, 5 cents a piece, blueberries for 10 cents, cauliflower, everything would be 10, 15 cents for my veggies. And then I'd come back to today and eat them. And when I need more, I'd go back to the future again. But that's the whole point. So people think there'll be inflation. First of all, they don't know what it is. It's not prices. Prices is prices. It's not inflation. It's an effect that you're stealing the dollar. So as the government steals the value of our dollar and making it worthless, that's what they're doing. But what was I thinking? As they're hurting it, we basically have less dollars to buy, but it doesn't necessarily mean you can raise prices. So just because the dollar's been stolen and worth less, so you need to charge more, doesn't mean you can. You can't charge more if the market says, fuck off. I'm not paying. I bought a diet squirt today, a 2-liter. And it was $1.99. And then I see in like the cooler, the 20-ounce diet squirt for $2.50. And I said to myself, who the fuck is so stupid to buy a 20-ouncer for $2.50 when you can get a 2-liter for $1.99? Or let's say a Coke or a Verner's or something. Let's say the Coke, it's $2.99 on the shelf. for 2 liters, but in the cabinet is 250 for 20 ounces. What is wrong with people? Why would you pay 250 for 20 ounces when you can pay 2.99 or 2 for $5 most of the time for a 2 liter? Oh, it's so hard to throw it in the fridge or grab some ice until it's cold. I have to drink it right now. I mean, it's and how the fuck who is so why are you buying it for 250 when you can get the 2 liter for $2 for like $1.99, $2.99? I even saw today I like those little Fago. I got a diet grape. I love grape, but I don't want to eat the sugar. So I got diet grape and it was 99 cents for the 20 ouncer. Now compared to the 250, you're like, okay. But at my meat store, which is more expensive, it was 93 cents. And I'm thinking, this is more than the meat store, which the meat store is always more. I couldn't believe it. So keep that in mind. Inflation's not prices going up. It's the value of the dollar dropping. And then keep in mind, when you see something expensive at the store, don't buy it. You either substitute out of it. So you buy the Kroger brand instead of Nabisco. Instead of buying Oreo brand, you buy the Kroger brand or the Meyer brand or whatever. Or you don't buy that, you buy ice cream or you buy muffins or you buy cake, something that's a lot cheaper. I got cashews today. The little bag was like $3 instead of buying chips, right? And you really should buy nuts. They're better for you than the chips. The problem with the chips are it's fried and it's salted, and the salt's pretty shitty. So really, I think the biggest problem with chips is the salting. Now, if they use, some of them are getting smart and using the Himalayan salt. Well, that's better. They're still frying it, so you got to be careful with that. So I'd rather just get a baked potato or a sweet potato and slice it up, and then put it in the oven and bake it. Put your Celtic salt on it and some cayenne pepper, and you got your own fries or your own chips. In this case, the nuts are fine. But again, you see these prices. And again, I always say you can market any price you want. However, nobody's going to buy it. And until it goes on. So I remember apples used to be $2.50. I was shocked. I never bought them. And now they're back to like $1.10, $1.20. So I'm starting to buy apples again. I don't know how healthy they are, but I eat them. They're not as healthy as my veggies, my avocados. That's the healthiest thing. And my chicken and my steaks. Anyway, so that's what's going on there. So anyway, basketball is ridiculous. You're diluting it. Have the playoff. You've qualified for the playoff. You do not have these play-in games, and you do not. It's stupid. It dilutes the product. What are these games for? You've got 8 teams in meaningless games. They already proven who was 7 and 8. You've got 8 teams in your playoff. The top 8 are in. What is Golden State playing San Diego for? Who was the 8th team? Who was the 7th and 8th team? Those are the guys in the playoffs. There's no point of having this. Neither team are very good. That's why, hence, to the 7th or 8th team. Neither team can beat Oklahoma, San Antonio, Denver. So all you're doing is diluting the product. What? So one can get killed by Oklahoma, the other will get killed by San Antonio, a third will get killed by Denver. So what is the point of this? This is just dilution. It's stupid. Nobody cared. Oh, everybody at San Diego is going to watch the Warriors-Clippers game tonight. Yeah, okay, go fuck off. All right. My friend said, I like the class, don't change. I go back and watch I've been on YouTube for 16 years. Go watch one of my first ones. I never change. I am myself. All right. Let's go to baseball. Tomorrow is tax day. Who gives a fuck? Why are we paying? The question isn't the taxes, it's why are we paying taxes? They're not in the Constitution. We shouldn't be paying them. If you're on the gold standard, you don't do taxes. Why are we paying taxes? Because these idiot bankers, JP Morgan does a central bank and then wants to do spending, and everybody thinks, oh, it's government spending and debt. No, that's not the system. I don't know what system they're talking about, but that's not the system we have. We have free market, free trade, laissez-faire, keep the government the fuck out. We have very good laws to protect in business situations, small government. So your biggest problem is by having the central bank, you have this large government, which costs a lot of money. You go into debt, which is never good. And now you got to pay the interest. And then you got the Social Security is not supposed to be a Ponzi scheme. It's supposed to be you're taking, because I'm too stupid to plan for my own retirement. You've got to take my 7.65 and the employer 7.65 to steal that from me. Don't even put it in my account. You're paying off other people with my money. And how can you justify that? And then when I reach retirement age and want my money, you tax me on it. What the fuck? All right. Enough of the frustration from the idiot government. The only way government can possibly work is to have competition. You need multiple governments, at least 2, maybe 3. And then it's up to them, for the people to choose. I like this. I don't like that. Because right now, I'm coming out of the gym yesterday, and this guy says to me, "Do you want to vote for a Republican governor?" And I says, "Only if he won't take the bribes from the defense contractors." Oh yeah, I said that. I says, if he doesn't take the defense contractors, I'll vote for it. But otherwise, it's all kickbacks and it's all corruption, and I don't vote for corruption. So fuck off. All right. Arizona goes to Baltimore. We got M. Kelly with a 0 ERA against T. Rogers with a 1.89. I believe T. Rogers, but who is M. Kelly? Merrill Kelly. And he hasn't pitched yet this year. He looks like he has like about a 4 ERA. So Kelly with the 4, Rogers with the 1.89, and I believe Rogers is a 1.89. Bo Real, yeah, 2025, 18 games he started, 1.81. Holy shit. 7-11 on 4 games, then 3 games this year, 1.89. Okay. So we're going to bet Baltimore, because we see this Matt Kelly guy is like a 4 ERA pitcher going against a real 1.8 ERA pitcher. So we're going to take Baltimore minus 158. I'm going to go 2 units. Washington goes to Pitt. We got the Steelers-Redskins games. We got Pittsburgh minus 179, 9.5. We got Miles McCullough with his 12.75 ERA. He was on the Cardinals last year against Mitch Keller with a 1 ERA. And is Mitch Keller for real? From Iowa, he must have been in that movie. Game logs: lost to the Mets 4-2, beat Baltimore 5-4, lost to San Diego 8-2. 6 innings, and he's only given up 2 runs to the Baltimore. He shut out the JETSs, and he shut out San Diego. His log, he's got a 4 ERA, 25, 24, 23, 22, and a 6-21. So this guy's not all that against Washington. So this isn't over. We're going to go Pitt over 9.5. I'm not going to bet it because I don't trust their offenses, but Mitch Keller's not a 1 ERA. He's a 4.5, and McCullough's 12.75. He's probably about a 6. So yeah, there should be a lot of runs in this game. See, I just let the pitchers tell us what to do. It's as simple as that, but you have to figure out the problem. Once you problem solve that baseball is the pitcher, then you look at it. Now, we understand they go 5 innings, maybe six. School ball, maybe five. We understand that, but and why do I get on school ball? Because school ball should want to get a complete game. He should want to go 9 innings and win. He should be competitive. He should want to win the game, and therefore should not want to come out and pull himself out after 5 innings. That's the problem I have with school ball. Skades, you probably can't get him out. I know Scherzer, you're not getting him out. Verlander, you wouldn't get him out. Jack Morris, forget about it. Nolan Ryan, those guys, forget about it. You're not getting them out. They want to. It's their game. They want to win. Bob Gibson, you couldn't get him out of the game. But yet, even Koufax would go all 9 innings. There was that World Series in 65 or 6 when it was the LA and Minnesota, and I showed you part of it. The pitchers who won, so the team that won, and it went 7, pitched a complete game every time. So Koufax in game 7, it was a complete game. He pitched all 9 innings. You could not he'd have killed you if you tried to take him out. Yet now they're a bunch of pussies. Oh, it's 5 innings. I got to leave. I got to go. My arm might hurt. Oh, my God. Yeah, and you paying the guy, you want to pay the guy $40 million for doing 5 innings? I pay you $40 million. You got to do 9 innings. If you can't do 9, go fuck off. Real winner. You think you can pull Tom Brady out of a game, Joe Montana out of a game? Now you think Mahomes, you're gonna pull him out of the game, or Burrow? They'll play injured. You think you're gonna get Josh Allen out of the game? Look at Bo Nix. He played with a broken foot, whatever he broke, his ankle or something. He was in there in the fourth quarter with a broken ankle to get to the championship game. He ain't getting out. Oh, schoolball. Oh, my shoulder. I can only pitch 5, and I want all the money. And I tell him to fuck off. You're not making it. You want to make the money, you're pitching 9 innings. You pitch 5, I'm paying you $5 million. You pitch 9, you get $20 million. I'll leave it up to you. And then if he cries like a baby, he only gets what he deserves. He doesn't deserve full pay when you're working half a job. That'd be like me working 8 to noon, but I want the full pay for an 8 to 4:30 job. Pay me for 8 hours when you only work 4. Well, but that's what Scoobel does. All right. We got Super Bowl, whatever it was, Joe Montana against Cincinnati. The Niners and the Bengals. The Bengals minus 109, 9.5, expecting runs. Robbie Ray used to pitch for the Tigers, a lefty, 2.12 ERA, pretty good, against Brady Singer with a 8.18 ERA. Can you explain why Cincinnati's the favorite here, especially if the total's 9.5? I think I like the Niners here. I'm going to take San Francisco plus 111, but I'm not going to bet it. I got to get a better apt of their hitting. Kansas City is at Detroit. Detroit's a minus 113 and 8. They play better at home because they steal the signs. We got Reagans with a 6.3 ERA. Valdez, who fell apart last game, 4.76. It's different at Houston, but when you come here, now maybe he'll play better in Detroit because it's a big ballpark. I'm going to take Detroit here. They played better at home, minus 113. Frammer had a bad game. Look for him to pitch better. So I'm going to go 2 units here. Just that Detroit steals the signs at home, and it's a bigger park. I wonder if they're going to ever let this guy play left field again, this Ricky Green guy. What an idiot. I can't believe this guy's so clueless and has no idea how to play left field in the major leagues. Didn't they go through that with him in Little League? I knew that in 7, 8 years old. Certainly in the minor leagues, they would have taught him to look out for the center fielder. Certainly. And yet the guy has an IQ of about 3. So to me, he's the DH. I don't think he can hit. He's a DH. I would probably trade him. I would. He's injuring, my best center fielder because he's a moron, because he runs into people, because he doesn't know that he's supposed to call the center fielder's ball, supposed to call him off. You're supposed to get out of the fucking way. What an idiot. The Tigers got to be the stupidest team I've ever seen. All right. The Cubs and the Phillies. Interesting game. The Phillies won a big one yesterday. Phillies won 36.5. Our Martin with a 0 for the Cubbies. Aaron Nola with a 3.71. Nice. Let's see. Who the hell is Riley Martin? He's a pig. I think he's a reliever. He's an older guy. Here's the 2028 game log. Loses 6-4 to Tampa. They lose 2-0 to Pitt and 7. Yeah, he's a reliever. Yeah, 1 innings. Okay, so this is a 1 inning guy. Who knows what the bullpen does? I'm going to go with Nolan. I'm going to go with Philly. And minus 136 and 2 units. No, so the guy comes out, pitches an inning. Why? And then what are you going to do? Riley Martin, Jesus. California goes to the Yankees. We won with the Yankees on a miracle, 12-11. So they're not hitting. They couldn't get a run against Oakland. Here comes California, 12 runs. This is why it's hard to figure out. It's the pitching. Who are you playing? So 172. Yankees favored an 8.5. Every time I talk about the Yankees, I think about The Godfather and the scene where he's booking. The guy's a bookie, and then Sonny goes and beats the shit out of him. And he says, we're not taking any more action on the Yankees. Now, so it would have been in the 1940s with DiMaggio there. No, it was after the war, I think. Those late 40s. Yeah, so DiMaggio was playing, so they wouldn't lose too much. Yogi Berra. Yeah, they had a great team. So that's what I think of. So we got Detmers, California, 4.80 against Carl Weathers, Apollo Creed, 2.81 for the Yankees. I think we got to go over. I think they're now hitting, and this is why you go with the streak. I'm not going to bet it, but I'm not going to. Okay, now they're starting to hit. And it's warmer out, so let's go over 8.5. Miami against Atlanta. Not much things here. We've got Atlanta 157, 8.5. We got M. Meyer, 386 against R. Lopez with the 120. I don't know. I'll say Atlanta under, but I'm not going to play it. If I trust the ERAs, a 120 by Lopez and a 386 by Meyer. If I trust those ERAs and I don't, then it'd probably be under, but who knows? Miami, they're both average teams. Tampa Bay goes to the White Sox. We've been pounding them under and won, except for Sunday. They scored. Then it took extra innings for them to get more than 2 runs. We got Tampa Bay minus 136 and 7.5. The game's at Chicago. McClanahan with the 4.50 against Schultz with a 0. This guy, I think, is like 6'9". They brought him up. He's a real huge guy, but he's not like Randy Johnson was 6'10", but skinny. This guy's more meat. But I don't know. We don't know what he's going to do in the pros. 7.5, 136. The White Sox cannot hit, but we don't know how good this Schultz is. Tampa doesn't hit a lot. It's probably an under, but again, it's an unknown with this pitcher. Even McClanahan, I don't know. Boston and Minnesota. We got Boston 126 and 8. Sonny Gray. Now we know him. 2.81 ERA for now. Goes to Minnesota, and Abel, a 3.60 ERA. I think there'll be runs. They scored a lot yesterday, so I think this is an over, but I'm not going to bet it. Boston over 8. But we'll let it go. Toronto and Milwaukee. Toronto's starting to heat up. Milwaukee minus 120 and 7. We got Gaussman for Toronto, a 2.12 ERA, and that is true, against Mizorowski at 3.38. You're making Toronto the dog. I'm going to take Toronto. Plus 111, 2 units. And I believe one of Milwaukee's better players got hurt or got hit on the hand or something. So I don't know why Toronto is the dog. Gaussman with the 2.12 ERA is the dog. Thank you. A gift from the gods. Cleveland goes to St. Louis. Cleveland's starting to heat up. Cleveland minus 112, 8.5. We got Cantillo with a 2.57 ERA against McGreevy with a 2.25. Cleveland doesn't have a lot of hitting, although they're starting to hit better in St. Louis. On and off. I'm going to say under with these two guys, but I'm not betting it. Under 8.5. But no bet. Colorado goes to Houston. Colorado's found a good pitcher. We got Houston minus 174, 80.5. Altuve's off to a good start. Lorenzen with a 9 ERA against Gordon with a 0 ERA. Is this guy for real? Colton Gordon, really? From St. Pete, Florida, not St. Pete, Russia. And he's not played. He started 20 games last year. He was in 20, he started 14, and they got a 5.34 ERA. So this guy's a bum, this Gordon guy. And for Houston, Lorenzen with a 9. This isn't over. We're going to go over 8.5. We'll go 2 units on this. 2 shit pitchers. 8.5 is all you need. It's not like 10 or 11. Seattle goes to San Diego. We got Dan Fouts against Kenneth Walker. They used to have some good games back in the Legion of Boom days. Seattle minus 115, 7. Rick Flair going 150 for Rick, and King the 338. I'm going to have to take Rick Flair. So we're going Seattle minus 115, and we'll go 2 units with Rick on the mound. 1.5 ERAs. I don't know about the under because King's got a 3.38 ERA for San Diego, and it's a beautiful ballpark and it adapts to more hitting. Texas is at Oklahoma, at Oakland, the softball city. Texas minus 108, 8.5. Gore for Texas 281 against Springs 150. Is this guy for real? Jeffrey Springs. 3 games. His logs. They lose 8-7 to Toronto, beat Houston 11-4, and beat the fucking Yankees 1-0. How do you play a 1-0 game with the Yankees with all that hitting? Pitches 5 innings, 6 innings, 7 innings, 1 hitter on the Yankees. Jesus Christ. 2 hits the game prior against Planet Houston and Altuve, and then 5 hits. So he's getting, I'm Jeff Springs. He's all right with me. For Oakland, Texas, this is an under, a beautiful under. Oakland under 8.5, and this is 2 units. Should be more, but I'll go 2. Texas's guy got a 2.81 Gore. They're not hitting Springs. He's going to go 7 innings, give up a couple of hits. Texas score, won't give up much. Oakland doesn't hit. And our last game is the Jets, Jets against the Dodgers. The Dodgers minus 198, 7.5. McLean for the Mets, a 2.81 ERA against Yamamoto, one of the Mr. Fuji guys. He throws a lot of salt into the batter's eyes when they're not looking. 2.50 ERA. I got to check these pitchers out. Nolan McLean from North Carolina, pitched in 3 games. He's pitched 5 innings and a 6th inning, 4 hits, 2 runs, 3 hits, 2 runs, 1 hit, 2 runs. How do you give up 2 runs on 1 hit? Holy fuck. So he gives up a couple runs a game. One of these pussies that only goes 5 innings against Yamamoto. I call him Mr. Fuji out of Japan. And let's see who this guy is. He's given up 6 innings a game, 5 hits, 2 runs a game. So what am I going to? And again, who do they play? Cleveland and Toronto. Mets can hit. The Dodgers can hit. I don't like the pitching. McLean's not real. Yamamoto. I think it's an over. I don't know. I don't know who this Yamamoto is. I'm going to let it go. No point. So baseball, let's review it. We got Baltimore minus 158, 2 units. Pittsburgh over 9, no bet. San Francisco plus 111, no bet. Detroit minus 113, they're better at home, 2 units. Philadelphia minus 136, 2 units. The Yankees over 8.5, no bet. Atlanta under 8.5, no bet. Boston over 8, no bet. Toronto plus 111, 2 units. Gausman out of the mound, he's the dog. Cleveland under 8.5, no bet. Then we got Colorado over 8. We're going to go 2 units. We got Seattle, Rick Fleer's going minus 115 and 2 units. And Oakland under 8.5. Their ace is now on the mound. From what we can see, the first 3 or 4 games, he goes a 7-inning, 1-hit shutout on the Yankees. Okay, you've got my attention. So under 8.5, 2 units. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's about right. 5 to 7 bets I can come up with. Basketball, we're going over with both. Charlotte over 230, Portland over 217, both 2 units. And that, our friends, is baseball and basketball. NFL draft coming around the corner. We've got nothing. We'll dig into the baseball. I think we have it about as figured out as you can. What's the effect of the 5-inning pitcher versus the 7-inning pitcher? So Screwball, we almost bet over every time, even though you go, wow, this guy's great. He's got this low ERA. Yeah, but he only pitches half the game. I swear I would give him half his paycheck. You're only pitching 5 innings. Yeah, you're not getting full pay. You didn't pitch the full game. I don't like the guys who are idiots who say, well, the game has changed. And my argument is the game hasn't changed. You're using analytics instead of real, like your brain, but the game hasn't changed. You pitch 9 innings and both teams get the bat. Nothing's changed. Well, the analytics aren't true. Well, yeah, but we're going to pinch hit our 300 hitter who's a lefty. We'll put in a guy hitting 0, but he's right-handed. Yeah, but he's hitting 0. Yeah, but analytically, he'll do better against the lefty. Yeah, shove that up your ass. That's bullshit. It's not real. It's a dream that the lefty can't hit the lefty. Ted Williams did okay hitting lefties. And didn't he hit 406 hitting lefties and righties? I mean, Joe DiMaggio hit righties. I mean, it's insane that a good hitter can hit either side. I hit either side. I hit righties. I hit lefties. Not a problem. The ball comes over the plate. Hit it. I don't care what the righty's doing. I'm not even watching him. I'm just looking for the ball. When I was coaching my girls softball, all I would say is see the ball and hit the ball. Don't look at anything else. Just pick up the ball and hit and swing at it and hit it. And everybody could hit. That's all it is. So the guy can't hit a lefty. So wait a minute. So the 300 hitter who only bats against righties is not really a 300 hitter. He's a 300 hitter against righties. But if you put a lefty against him and he sits out, he's a minor leaguer. And this is the problem. The Tigers have a bunch of minor leaguers. They don't have a guy who can hit righties and lefties. I mean, it's insanity. And that is not the game changing. That's the managers having their heads way up their asses and not understanding what the hell they're doing. Pure and simple. So I don't know. It's ridiculous. So the game hasn't changed at all. You got Sandy Koufax today. He's still going. You know, Ric Flair, Skanes pitched yesterday. Ric Flair's going tonight. I'm sorry, they're going 9 innings. Now Skanes went out because they scored 15 runs, but you're going 9 innings. I mean, you know, the thought should be you're trying to win the game, and we need you, the best pitcher we have, Skanes. I need you to go 9 because I'm not going to see you for 5 days. Again, a big mistake. Oh, it's analytics. We need to give him more rest. No, you don't. 4 days rest worked. If it worked for Koufax and Gibson, I think it can work here. 4-man rotation, the 70 Orioles, McNally, Cuellar, Dobson, and and Jimmy Palmer. Seemed to work fine for them. Don't know what you're talking about. So why has it changed? It hasn't. They're still 60 feet away throwing the ball, and they can still throw 9 innings. Oh, yeah, not a problem. And if they can't, they should go work at the grocery store. They shouldn't be playing. But it's just, you know, it's like what? Rory McIlroy. Well, you know, I'm done after 14. I can't finish. Yeah, I know I kind of want to win the tournament, but, you know, I'm tired. You know, I played 14 holes. I'm going to take the cart and go in and have a hamburger now. That's all I'm doing is 14 holes. I mean, it's insanity. It just makes 0 sense what they're doing. Really does. So I don't know, but the game has not changed. Golf hasn't. Golf's changed because they made the clubs. They made the angle of the club so the ball goes farther. All you're doing is hitting a 7-iron and calling it a 9-iron. You haven't changed anything. So that's kind of what you did. And you fucked yourself because now you don't know how to hit a shot 100 yards where you'd pull out your wedge. Now, what are you going to pull out? Yeah, I'll call it some other wedge. Why don't you just leave your wedge at 100 yards like it was? Bunch of morons. All right. Anything else on sports? Let me know. It's very frustrating, all these changes and all this analytics, because it's not right. And that's the dumbing idiotic of what they're trying to do to people, making you not think, making you idiots. This whole thing. Now they're going to try AI, which is not going to work. But they can try it. Well, we'll get everybody on AI, and they won't think. They'll just listen to AI, and we can tell them to do everything, and we can control them with AI, and we'll ruin their money, and then they'll get stablecoin, and we'll control them because if they want the money, they got to stand on their head for 5 minutes. Fuck off. We don't need you. We don't want you. We got gold and silver. Go fuck yourself somewhere. It's really pisses me off that they think we're idiots and they try these things that are not going to work and they're just stupid. All right, let's see what Egon says.
If you want to sleep well at night, just hold gold. If you want a fantastic roller coaster journey, which is still up but with massive swings, hold some silver. But silver is not for widows and orphans. Silver is going to go up substantially faster than gold in the next few years. So definitely it is a very good investment opportunity. And therefore it would be right to hold silver, let's say to the extent of 20 to 30% of your total gold and silver assets, not more. If you want to sleep well at night, just hold gold.
Okay, I got to leave a comment. Here's the comment I am about to leave for Egon. Please say paper silver, not physical silver. Paper is price fixed by our friend JP Morgan. Physical does not have a real price yet. And I sign it, as I always do, the professor. So he's misleading you with this copper, with this the roller coaster with silver. That's only in options. This price doesn't, all it does is go up because of the demand for the physical will make the price go up. But since we don't have a physical price, and for some reason we're using the COMEX price to price physical, which makes 0 sense because the supply is much limited in the physical world and the paper world. So this is the part. This is the problem with most of these guys, not Egon, but most of them. They don't differentiate the paper from the physical. This is paper silver is going up and down, not physical silver. Physical silver doesn't move at all. If anything, it just keeps going up, up, up. Oh, that's what it should be. Let's see. Trump's naval blockade of the Strait of Hormuz. What is Trump doing? Trump's a fucking idiot. I'm not a big fan of this Jeffrey Sachs guy. So you want to get the Strait of Hormuz open, and now you do a blockade so nobody can go through it. What he wants is, he doesn't want the Chinese going through it because they need their oil. They pay in yuan. They can go through the strait. The strait's only closed for people paying in dollars. If you pay in yuan or another currency, or yes, dare I say gold and silver, well, I guess gold, you can go through. So Trump doesn't want anybody to go through. And the problem is he's pissing off the Chinese. Chinese needs their oil. They're getting a lot more from Russia, but they need their oil. And you're blocking these oil ships going to China is going to be a big problem for you. So again, Trump not understanding BRICS, not understanding the dollar, not understanding anything. What a fucking idiot. Now, fortunately, this is a small amount of, well, for China, it's a big amount of oil. And for Japan and Korea and India, but the rest, it isn't. And since most of those countries are BRICS, so he doesn't care. China's BRICS, Japan's BRICS, everything like that. There's this girl, she's a violin player. She's like a prodigy. Her parents are musicians, and they taught her, and she just goes. She doesn't need music or anything. She just sits there and plays any song that you can you play this song? Yep, nope, not a problem. And she hits the violin. Ukrainian girl, of course. And I think those, I don't know, her parents are usually somewhere around there. But she just goes around and she plays these things. It's just very good. Her name's Carolina Prochenko. All the Russians' names end in like ko, like KO and stuff like that. like Darius Provosco or something. Um, let's see. The Mega Powers reunite. Miss Elizabeth debuts in WCW. All right. A good watch. Let's see if there's any like that I've liked. Not really. We watched Mark McGuire on Saturday. Egon's $38,000 gold. Heavy strikes on the war. Let's see if there's anything new going today. Uh, See, so I was watching the Secretariat, and Secretariat's Triple Crown races. That's what we want to bet on: football, basketball, baseball. That's what we're looking for. Is the Secretariat the big stud? That's Joe Montana. That's Brady. That's Jordan and Bird and Magic and Isaiah and whatever we've got. In baseball, we look for Ric Flair and Skanes, things like that. That's you want to bet on the winner. You just go right along. They want to win, not like Scooble, who doesn't want to win. He's a baby, so we got to be careful with him. But the real guys who really are competitive, who really want to win, that's who we want to bet on. And we make Lawrence Taylor, Joe Montana. That's who you bet on, and you win a lot of money doing it. Jimmy Johnson, we had fortune on him. So you just really look at it. And one thing I know some guys, like when I give my football picks and I see it right away and I bet it, and they go, well, you should study it. I go, I don't need to study it. This one I got. Those are the ones that I lock, is I just look at the game, look at the point spread, and it took me 5 seconds to say Seattle's winning the Super Bowl, and I spit out 30-10. It was just a reaction, and yet it won very easily what it should have done. And that's what I got. So in 1984, it was Miami and Nebraska. Nebraska was 14-point favorite. That was the Bernie Kosar game. And the game's in Miami, and Nebraska's lane 14. They had the killer offense, but what Miami had with this killer defense, and then they still had Bernie Kosar, who could score. So they could score on Nebraska. Nebraska never had a good defense, but Miami had a good defense to shut down Miami. And it was 34-33 or something like that. But when I saw the 14, it was an automatic bet. I think I bet $1,000 on the game. And this was back in 1984 when my normal bet was about 100 or 200. But yet when I saw that, I just said, this is a joke. 14, you're giving Miami 14 points. That was one of those automatic plays. And that's what I look for. I don't need to analyze it. It's already been analyzed. I've already analyzed Nebraska. I've already analyzed Miami. The spread should have been like 3. It was 14. I said, thank you. Because they overrated Nebraska's offense, that they're going to score 40 points. But what they didn't analyze was Miami's offense and Miami's defense. So anyway, Miami wins, I think 34-33 or 35-34. Nebraska goes for 2 at the end of the game, which didn't matter to me because I'm getting 14 points. And that was before the teaser. Easiest bet I ever made in my life. And I think I just watched it about 4 or 5 months ago during football season. It happened to come on, and I know I got to watch my game. That one and that Florida State-Oklahoma game, they're just automatics. But that's what you're looking for. So that's what I get when I see Skanes yesterday and Ric Flair today. It's just bet them. They're winners. And that's why I stay away from Scooble. He's not a winner. He doesn't want to win. He doesn't care about winning. He's so worried about only going 5 innings and getting the fuck out. I've never seen a guy like this as bad as he's a loser. I've never seen a guy who won't go. I mean, like I say, you're going to pull Tom Brady out of a game or Mahomes. You think Mahomes isn't going to play all 9 innings? Oh, it's baseball. It's different. It's not different. It's a game. You want to win it. It shouldn't matter. I know I watch enough Amazing Race to see the game. They want to win, and they're not getting paid to do it. Let's see. Trump naval. Okay, we saw that. Trump's naval blockade. The mega powers, all right. See, they wanted to play, the wrestlers. They wanted to win. Poker, we got Phil Ivey against Patrick Antonius. Now, let's talk about poker. I'm not going to show that because I don't know. I might get in trouble. But let's talk poker. We talked poker strategy the other day, mostly on the bluff side of it. The feeling is if I make a big bet, you're going to fold because I'm reading your hand. You're not strong enough to take a big bet. Even though you're stronger than me, and even though I'm bluffing, I'm the one making the bet and you can't call me. And that's poker strategy. So what do you hear a lot of these guys? So I watched Stewie Younger win his 2 World Series of pokers. And what does he say? And Gabe Kaplan interviews him and he says, well, I could read the guy. I can read the guys better than anybody. So he's saying he can read what you're doing because of the patterns and the trends. So poker seems to be a game of trends, all trend analysis. So because you played with your chips or because you had a drink or because you watched the TV or because you bet a big bet, that equals X, right? A big bet means you got a hand. Watching the TV, you're not worried about me, you got a hand. Having a drink, you're relaxed, you've got a hand. Sitting there stiff, you're probably bluffing. Daniel Negreanu talking, you're bluffing. So everybody is looking to. I can read the other person. Negreanu, I can read the person. You know, Phil Ivey is good at reading people. So it becomes a trend game based on you acting X. Y happens. So therefore, I've read you, and now I know what you do when you have a hand and what you do when you don't. And that's, I'm going to outplay you because I'm going to make these $60,000 bets, and you don't know if I got a hand or I'm bluffing. That's how Phil Ivey plays. It's very hard to bluff him because he'll call you. Guys like him and Daniel Negreanu and Patrick Antonius, they're callers. Well, you can bet $100,000 on it. Well, in my game, I can bet $100 on them, and they'll call me because of they don't want to be bluffed. I mean, it's as simple as that. They don't want to be bluffed, so they're going to call, and that's what happens. And you're just like, what the fuck? So you've got to be careful who you're playing against. But it's all trend analysis. It's all, like I tell you, he's watching the TV. He's not bluffing. Oh, I think that one guy did it to me on purpose, thinking that if I'm watching the TV, I'll fold. But my spider senses thought it was a bluff, but wouldn't let me call because I had kings and it was a big bet. And I'm like, okay, he's probably bluffing, but that's what it is. So these guys, I can read guys better than anybody. That's what they tell you, right? Look how good I can read the guy. So that's really what poker is. It's you think it's, well, I got a pair of nines or I got a pair of kings. I'm gonna bet, and my kings will beat your queens, and I'll win the hand. And you will, but then there's these outside forces of these big bets. Daniel Negreanu saying, "Well, I think you got aces," and then he bets into you. And then he says, "Well, I really couldn't beat aces. I was just bluffing you." And it was a good bluff because you're saying, "Well, shit, he just called my cards aces, but he bet. Obviously, he's got it beat." Think, McFly, think. If he had it beat, would he tell you you have aces and bet into it? No, not in your lifetime. He would never say, if he has a set, he's not going to talk about the aces. He's not going to say I bet into them, and he's not going to talk because he's only talking because he's bluffing, because that's how you read Daniel Negreanu. And I noticed in the newer Daniel Negreanu's, he must have heard me say his tell because he's not talking as much. And again, if I'm ever at a table with him and he does this bullshit with this big bet where I know he's bluffing, I'm going to say, you wouldn't be bluffing, would me? You don't want me. Do you want me to call or not? I guess you don't want me to call. You must be bluffing. And see him start smiling, or, he's going to have a hard time keeping his face. Come on, Daniel, aren't you going to talk? You're bluffing. Anyway, so that's kind of what I would do and think. Again, why the big bet? So you're trying to analyze it. You're problem solving the hand. He didn't have anything. He didn't bet, and then he starts betting, and he makes big bets for me not to call. He's not making bets for me to fold. He doesn't want me to call, because if he wanted me to call, the bets would be smaller. That's just logic. So that's really what poker is now. It's, what do you want to show for your trends? So they're watching you. What do you want to tell them? And so if you show them when you bluff how you bet, and then you show them when you got a good hand, like Stu Unger said, well, he normally bet a lot when he had a big hand, and there was a hand when the guy didn't bet a lot. And Gabe Kaplan says he's confused because normally it's a big bet, and in the big bet, he knows he's got the hand, but he checked or he bet a small bet. So I didn't think he had a hand. And that's how in depth they get. So you've got to, that's what Stu Unger could do. Now, most people probably can't do that. He was special, but you've got to present yourself. You're being watched, right? Forget the government watching you. You're being watched. And so you need to understand what it is that you need to do here. So go in knowing you're being watched and show them what you want them to see, right? You check when you got a monster and let them read you for weak. And if that's how they're going to play it, like I said, that's how the Russian girl did it. She made big bets. She was bluffing, and I just waited to get my aces and let her bet. And then I got a third ace or another pair, and I'm checking to her, and she's making a bet because I look weak because I'm checking. Meanwhile, I know she's watching me, and I know I'm going to look weak, but I know I'm going to call. The problem is when the idiot tries to look weak, and then they make the call on the river for a lot of money, and then the guy doesn't call. The guy's like, oh, it is a big bet, Well, obviously they're bluffing because they want you to fold because it's a big bet. It's not a big bet to get you to call. It's a big bet to get you to fold. That's logic. Because if I wanted you to call, if I hit four aces, I'm not going to make a real big bet. Make a comfortable bet. In my game, I'd bet like $70. But if I'm bluffing, then the bluff's going to be 200 because I don't want you to call, but I want you to call the 75. So you're looking for that number that you want to call for. Or maybe it's the way you put it out there. Maybe you make your bet. I'll use my, it's like, oh, I got a big hand and I put it out there. Oh, well, every time you quickly put it out there, you got a big hand. And that is a tell, they say. If you bet very quickly, then you're either on a draw or you have a hand. Very rarely are you bluffing because you know what you want. So you might be on 4 diamonds and it comes to you and it's a small bet. And you quickly go, yeah, I want to get to the river and see if I hit my flush. And so that's what they do to you with that. So it is 4 diamonds. So because you put it in quickly and you just called, you're on a flush draw. Now you can use that to your advantage, as I say. You can use all that to your advantage. See, the key is they're watching you. So you could show them what you want and let them believe you're weak when you're really not weak. And then when you got the big hand and then you make the bet, they'll think you're bluffing and you're not. Or you're slow playing your set of aces and they think you're weak and they make the bet and you got them. So that's what we have. Anyway, we'll keep an eye on this whole Strait of Hormuz and this whole thing. It's a lot of bullshit. It's the stupidest thing. Trump's doing the blockade to hurt Iran because Iran's in BRICS. This whole thing's about BRICS. It's what all these wars are about. They have the gold. We're broke, so we're trying to steal. We're trying to steal their gold, and we're trying to steal their oil, and they're saying, fuck off. And instead of just fucking off, we're sitting around. God knows what they're doing. We are totally broke. So understand that. The U.S., okay, I have this, and I fold it up. Well, it's almost to the point where here's what it's worth. I don't even know if it's worth a penny anymore. We are broke. Don't keep your head buried in the sand. Understand that. And it's very easy. Just get out of the dollar, go into gold and silver. Gold and silver should be 10 times higher, so it's not a problem. And then what's going to happen is as the dollar goes out, the gold and silver will go to the moon because right now you're in dollars and you got money in your stock market and bonds and real estate trusts. But once that's gone, because the dollar is worthless, you only have one place to go, is gold and silver. So everybody's going to run into gold and silver and the price goes to the moon. So keep that in mind. And there's nothing they can do. As I say, with the Titanic, once you hit the iceberg, the water's coming in and there's nothing you can do to stop it. The dollar it hit the iceberg and it's being printed and the water's coming in. It keeps being printed. You can't sell your treasuries because nobody wants them because it's being printed. And when that happens, it's worthless. And it's worthless. So all you can do is just sit there and get out of it. But it's coming in. There's nothing you can do except go into gold and silver. But people are trying to keep their money in stocks. Like it's dollars. It's paper. It's bullshit. The whole thing's a Ponzi scheme. All right, let's take a look at stock market today. It'll be up because it's all bullshit. More price fixing. Of course, it's up 267. Yeah, 48,485. What a joke. Well, the economy must be doing good because the stock market, which is price fixed, which has no correlation to the economy, is 48.4. So ignore that. Your allocation, if you're retiring, your allocation is not 60% stock, 40% bond. Your allocation is 90% gold and silver, 10% Montana and Mickey Mantle cards. Maybe you own a Rolex. That's how your percentage should look. Zero stock, zero bonds, zero annuity, zero real estate trust, nothing there. Let's see how we're doing. Well, goody, goody, goody. 48.14. A nice healthy day for gold. Just the 10 o'clock fix, which happened about 10:15. And now we're soaring. And silver getting back to 80. We're wondering why it ever felt, why it's not 80 now. We don't really make any sense, except for we know it's paper and we know that we know it's paper and we know they're just fucking around with derivatives. So we know it's the banks buying and selling options, and we don't care about that because we got physical. So to Egon's quote, if you own physical silver, it hasn't gone down a penny. Paper COMEX has, but not physical. Physical, we don't have a price for it. The 79.25 is the paper price for silver, not the physical. There are two different things going on. There's the options and the futures, and there's the physical. And these guys are so stupid, they don't. Who else tells you this? Who else tells you paper physical? Who else tells you the paper is a lot more paper? Let's take a look at that. We got time. It's an hour 36. All right. So let's take a look at this Batman. I'm going to be Batman right now. And Robin's asking me, how many ounces of paper options of gold and silver are there? Let's ask that question. Estimates suggest a massively disparity with roughly 100 to over 250 ounces of paper gold derivatives futures for every single ounce of physical gold. So there's let's call it 250 ounces of paper gold for every ounce of physical gold. Some analysis indicate 100-to-1 ratio, meaning 100 claims exist for every ounce. So let's do the math. 200,000 tons. There's 31,000 tons. I guess we'll have to work it like this. So we've got 100-to-1 ratio. Well, let's do 250. So how many? 100. Well, let's see. We've got 200,000 tons. And we want to do but we got to get, let's break the tons into ounces. So this is times 32,000. So 200,000 tons times 32,000 ounces per ton. This is this I hate this this program. This is the whatever it's called, the Google version of Excel. So that's going to put us at $100,000,000,000, a billion. So there's 6.4 billion ounces in the world if you look at the 200,000 tons. So 200,000 tons times 32,000 ounces per ton gets you to 6.4 billion, 100,000 million, 600 billion. And then we times that by, let's see, for every single ounce of physical gold, some analysis indicate a 100-to-1 ratio, meaning 100 claims exist for every 1 ounce of physical metal. Others have reported higher, with some claims as high as 293-to-1, and some even indicating over 124 ounces. So let's go to 293. So let's take that times 293. You know what? Let's do 250. And that number is going to be 100,000 million billion. So that's 1.6 billion more. So if we add that, 6.4 million ounces plus another 1.6 gets you at 100,000 million billion, 1.6 billion. No, that's not right. What kind of stupid system? How do you add 6.4 plus 1.6? 6.4 plus 1.6 gets you 8. All right, so that gets us 8 billion ounces. Eight 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0. And now let's divide this. Divide it by 32,000 ounces. That gives us another another 2 million ounces, or 2 million tons. 100,000. It gives us 2.5 million ounces of gold on the paper market versus 200,000. So look at what they're doing. 2.5 million. So you're pricing gold at 2.5 million tons instead of 200,000 tons. So how can the price be normal? The price isn't. It's not even close. And we can do the same for silver. How many paper ounces of of silver are there? Estimates for the paper to physical ratio frequently cite between 250 and over 400, meaning 250 to 400 ounces of paper derivatives exist for every single ounce of actual physical silver. The paper's 400. Some sources indicate 20, 30. So we're looking at 400. The question then is how many physical, I'm going to say tons. I don't care about ounces. How many physical tons of silver are there? 1.74 million tons. Roughly 530,000 to 640 metric tons remain is as identified underground reserves. Annual mine production is roughly 26,000 tons. So total mined in history is 1.74. The reserves 500. Yeah, so that's what I'm looking at. So it's basically 641,000 tons times 4, which puts it at 2.4 million tons. And that's why these prices vary, because when they do these contracts, they're selling, it's 100. This is a 400 to 1 ratio. This is 400 times. So 641 tons or 1,000 tons times 400 and a 400 ratio. Yeah, 641,000 tons is probably what they have. In the paper world, it gets times 400. There's 2.4 million. Is it million or billion? 100? Yeah, about 2.4 million tons of paper silver. So when they're fucking around selling these options, look at the supply numbers. They're not close to reality. So again, you got 200,000 tons of gold, but it's a couple million paper tons. That's the problem. So to say there's a physical price of gold or silver, you're out of your mind. There is no physical gold or silver. But who says that besides me? Does anybody differentiate paper and physical? Not Andy Scheckman, not Peter Schiff, not Alice Alligator McLeod. Mark McGuire brings it up a little. Egon doesn't bring it up enough. His whole thing on silver being very volatile, it's paper silver. And you can see if there's 400 times more bullshit tons than reality, of course it's going to be a lot more that. Totally illegal. How many you have? You have 200,000 tons of gold. How can you sell 1 million tons of gold when you only have 200,000? That's the Ponzi scheme. They only have 200,000 tons to sell, of which China has 85 to 90,000 of it. BRICS has the other, so it's probably about 175,000 tons. Of the 200,000 tons is sitting with BRICS. So there's only 25,000 tons at most available, of which case it's probably not. There's maybe 5 tons running around, and you're trying to put paper, at 100 tons, there's let's say there's 5,000 tons out there, and you're trying to do 2 million tons you're trying to sell. That's a Ponzi scheme. You don't have it. You don't have it to sell. So how can it be real? It's not real. That's the Ponzi scheme. That's what's illegal. And you're doing it in silver also. You don't have the silver to sell. So how can you sell it? That's the definition of a Ponzi scheme, right? I'm going to sell you something they don't have. Oh my God. That's what Madoff did. He never made a trade. So we're allowing JP Morgan to do a Ponzi scheme on gold and silver. And people are losing their money and freaking out because they're buying physical and they're not seeing the price go up. And then, oh, well, it's to keep you in the stock market. Well, you got plenty of money for the stock market. If people want to protect themselves and get rid of and Rumpelstiltskin their little paper crap dollars for real gold and silver money, get the fuck out of the way. So that's why it's a Ponzi scheme. They're selling gold and silver they don't have. It's a total Ponzi scheme. It's totally illegal. As we know, Ponzi schemes are illegal. Otherwise, why did Madoff go to jail? So this is a terrible thing happening, but yet people aren't letting you know, except for moi, that physical, there is no price on. This price is a paper price on gold. So when we see 4,800 gold, it's a paper price. And you need to divide it out to get to maybe you divide it to get to the physical price, but not really, because you're selling fake gold that you don't have. And it's a joke. So this whole idea of a futures market is absolutely ridiculous, totally illegal, totally needs to be banned. The only thing is maybe the farmers where they're selling their corn and they need to grow it and they need to lock in so they don't lose. I'll give them that, maybe, but it is what it is. If you want to sell it, you better guess the price properly. And if you can't, maybe you do futures on it, but I don't see where that would lead into gold or silver. There's absolutely no reason to need futures for gold or silver. Gold's gold. You buy it or you don't. You buy the silver or you don't, and you let the market go. This whole thing with wheat and corn and everything, fuck it. It is what it is. So you got to understand your market, and you better plant your corn and wheat and then figure out what it's going to cost. Well, I want to be conservative and lock it in. Well, go fuck off. You can't. It's the market. You have no idea. The money's being inflated anyway, so the real value isn't close to what your value. So that's the big disconnect, is to understand the value of the dollar is not what it is. So even gold at 4,800, the value of the dollar is going down every day. So even 4,800 is worth, 10,000. So keep that in mind. So we don't know the value of physical gold and silver. We don't have a clue, because it's not being priced. It's being priced by gold and silver we don't have. That doesn't exist. 400 to 1 on silver. We don't have it to do this shit. I mean, this is it's about 641,000 tons of silver, and they're doing 250 times amount in paper. So they're selling silver they don't have. It's just wonderful. So again, it's not for widows and orphans if you own physical, only if you are playing options. So get out of options. When you buy gold and silver, you're buying physical. You are not buying options, because you buy options, you're buying gold, you're buying stuff that doesn't exist. You can only buy 200,000 tons. And if there's a couple million, it's not backed by anything. You're buying air. You're buying a contract, which is worthless. So anyway, my spiel there. So there you go. Today's class brought to you by the professor. I hate when you watch a video and they do a commercial like that Franziski guy, the mafia guy, and he wants to sell his wine. Didn't you make money in the mafia? Oh my God, his podcast. Well, let's take 5 minutes and talk about my wine. Go fuck off. Nobody cares about your wine. Is it at the store? Well, try it. Fine. That's the way the market works. You want to have a commercial? Have it at the end of your video. Don't put it in the middle. So I hate people that do that. It's like, it's not That's not the point of the business. I'm teaching you football and poker and gold and silver, not to run commercials in the middle. That very low class, very ridiculous. So you see my commercials. My commercials are, yeah, go. You want to make money? Bet my football. That's my commercial. Buy gold and silver, and that's got nothing to do with me. Just to help you. So just run out, Rumpelstiltskin your dollars, buy the gold and silver, and you'll be fine. All right. I think that's it. www.teaserking.com. And notice poker leads into all of life. So everybody's watching you and you're giving out signals and people are reading you in everything in life. Women at the pool, on the bike, walking at Target or Myers or anywhere. People are reading your signals. Understand that. So be careful what you show them, but you're being watched. So anyway, that's what's happening. So have a great day. Again, baseball, we got Baltimore, we got Detroit, we've got Philadelphia, we got Toronto plus Toronto. We do have the over in the Colorado game. We have Seattle, and we have the over in the Oakland game. So a lot of teams I'm betting lately before versus the over-under. And in the NBA, we're going over with both games, Charlotte and Portland. And we'll see what happens. I think there's no defense in the league, except for Boston, I think, has defense. And we will see. Playoffs are much different than the regular season, mostly because you're getting these weak teams. And then there's a lot of travel. And here, there's not as much travel, but you're getting a team every night, and you're getting a very strong team in the playoff, except for these stupid 7, 8, 9, 10 playoff, whatever the fuck that is. That's why I like the overs, because those aren't really good teams. The good teams start, and then it's going to be, you're going to play them 7 games maybe. And that's where it is. But anyway, just be careful of losers. Be careful of people that lie to you and talk one thing but mean another. And if you're playing poker, people are trying to get reads on you. So don't give them any. Same thing in life. I mean, you meet a girl, you meet your buddies, whatever. They're all trying to get a read on you. Well, does he have money? And what kind of car do you have? What is that? What kind of question is that? What kind of car do you have? And I'd say, go fuck yourself. What do you mean? What difference does that make? Yeah, if I drive a Mercedes, is that going to excite you versus driving my Camry? What kind of car do you have? Jesus. Really? That's the best you could come up with to try to read me is what kind of car do I drive? Go play some poker. All right. Well, have a good day. It's nice and 80 out, and I'm going to eat and go to the pool. And I don't know, my moving's pretty much set. I can put a few more things in my car. But again, I got more. It's only April 14th. I got till May 1st. So I'll do a little bit more. Anyway, last thing I got is my internet, and I'm looking at it now. So the internet is I saw some for $27. I don't know where it went. I think it was this AT&T was 27. So I'm going to try them, and I'm going to try there's AT&T, Xfinity. I do not want to use Spectre, and I will never use Starlink if they're trying to control me. Go fuck off. I will never buy anything that idiot, what's his name, the chucklehead produces, Elon Musk. I will never buy anything from Elon Musk. He works for the government. All his contracts are government contracts, which means He doesn't even have any business sense at all. So I don't want to do anything with him. So it'll either be Xfinity or AT&T, and we will see. All right. Have a good day. Enjoy. Let's give you our last little bit of gold and silver news. And as we leave you, gold healthy 48.26 on the move. And that is as of now. And silver 79.20. Let's get this up to 80 and let's get this back to 5,000. And even that's not a real price. It's this paper option bullshit when they can't back it. There's no gold for the options or silver, and it's all just a fantasy. So there really is no physical gold and silver price. The stores sell it to you at the paper price. I don't know why, because they're idiots, but mostly because there is no physical price. How do we not have a physical gold and silver price? It's unbelievable. So anyway, I know they're trying to do it. China, Russia, the UAE, Dubai, Saudi Arabia, Singapore, they're all working on getting a physical market. Right now, they don't have one. All right. Well, that's good then. Have a good day. Good luck. And I will see you tomorrow. All right. Take care, everybody. www.teaserking.com. Got to get that in. My advertising.